violence and closer to getting rid of themselves. And therefore, best solution to reverse this course of violence is we must work. We must get out there and we must forge peace. We must stop exterminating one another. We must stop all of this madness because at the end of the day, we have only ourselves to blame. We must have a do or die attitude, if you were, as people to rebuild our culture and to create a new legacy of peace.
Yes, London, we're back. We're back. It's the doctor's surgery. We do it each and every Tuesday from the hours of 8 until 11. We bring you all the current affairs matters that's taking place over the past week. Britain's first Black Current Affairs show. We discuss all the things that have been in the news or are in the news that are pertinent to us, whether it's nationally or internationally, on the subject matters. And if you want to take part in the show, the number is 0753-996-8143. I'll give it again, 0753-996-8143. One last time for the money, 0753-996-8143. And I apologize if it sounds a bit muffly. I'll do my best to make it sound a little bit better as we go along. I got a couple messages on a call during the break. I was clearly told that I'm the only one supporting Don Butler. Don, me have you, man. Me have you right now. You get me? Me now go. What I'm saying? I'm the only one supporting Don Butler right now. And I was told that when other presenters have discussed the matter on the airwaves, there was a barrage of negative comments towards Don. But no one's calling in and say nothing to me. You get me? How am I wrong for defending Don? I'll say it again. How am I wrong for defending Don? The reason I'm defending Don is not because I see Don as a hero to the community. No. I see Don as taking a positive step towards, for the first time in a long time, any of these MPs. It's a positive step because it's something that she didn't have to highlight. For me, it takes away from her because we know that in society at the moment, every time you stand up for your brothers and sisters, it's a taint against your name. So we find that these MPs generally don't support their brothers and sisters because they don't want to be tainted. You know, look on why the boy named the MP from the Conservative MP that tried to throw down on the bus saying the police isn't racist. Why boy name? I'm really calling name, because I couldn't believe my eyes when I was seeing that. Um, Sean Bailey. He's the Conservative London mayoral candidate. You know what I mean? So you don't know. I don't know what he's trying to kiss up to Crusader Dick for. You know what I mean? But it sounds like he might try to. You know what I mean? Anyway, but let me know if you disagree, because for me, I'm looking at the essence of the action, and the essence of the action is, who does it benefit? It doesn't benefit Dawn in any way, in my eyes. I could be wrong, but it doesn't benefit Dawn, but it allows that conversation to take place, that this undertone, this nuance of antagonistic behavior, of racial profiling is taking place in Britain currently in black areas, and why and how they're doing it, and the institution of this racist police force led by Crusader Dick, head of the Metropolitan Crusader Dickhead of the Metropolitan Police Force, you know, and it's like a campaign against black folks. I don't know what she's got against black folks. I don't know if a black guy broke her heart in Crusader. Did a black guy break your heart at school or something? You get me? Or a black girl? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Never ask. So because you look like you just vex with the world, with we anyway. So, or is it the police? are you just an incompetent head of the police force in the sense that they don't even respect you and you yourself are benevolent? I can't get it out with the mask. A benevolent being, and they just ain't listening to you because they think you're weak? Or is it that behind closed doors, the devilish men come out and the policies that you practice behind the closed doors is what we're seeing on the streets? I don't know. But nonetheless, I give credit where credit is due. And in this situation here, I feel that those without a voice got a voice momentarily in that piece. And we should all take that opportunity to have that voice and have that same level of respect that was afforded to Dawn when the officers realized who she was. Because remember, an MP shouldn't be treated differently from the public, right? So if the officers backed down and allowed her to go about her business because she was able to prove who she was in the way she did, and that's why it'd be good and pertinent to see the whole video so the youngsters can learn. And if it's outside the scope of how the stop with Dawn took place, then you know they're going above and beyond their prejudices and their racist tendencies with your particular stop. You know, because we already know the institution of why they're stopping you is because of the racist policies and procedures that they've implemented. And likewise, if the decorum with it in the stop is wayward of or way north of where it was with Dawn, you'll have a precedent. You can look at that and say, well, the MP did this and the MP said that, and nothing was done out of it. You can say the same thing. You can do the same thing. Not that you have to take the same path. I'm just giving an example. But I understand that not everyone's going to agree with me. You know, um, so I waited with a bated breath to hear what the other presenters are going to say on the matter, since it seems like I'm the only one that's defending Don. Don, remember to put the money into my account, right? See, you must have paid me or something. See, I give this positive rave review. Um, Nonetheless, jokes aside. And on the other matter that we've discussed this week, we spoke about, and I know the producer has another topic here that she wants to discuss, but just to highlight before we go into that part of the show, um, we spoke about the young black female, age 32 years old, young black woman, young lady, that was stopped over there in Bournemouth by 6 male officers that flung her to the ground and cuffed her while she's on the ground. You know, the video is quite distressing. I think she was a bit like, I think can I say something? I think the George Floyd video as, okay, well, I call her. All right, I come back to that comment. I come back to that comment. Call you live. Where you calling from? Ah, doing my best. Good to hear from you. I thought you abandoned me this week. Yeah, Mister, I thought you abandoned me this week. So I normally hear from you week in, week out. I look forward to your call. No, so them now I think I'm intimidating or something. Am I intimidating, guys? Come on, man, calling. I want to hear some voices. You know what I mean? I love you people. You know what I mean?
The only thing I didn't like from that is the way she did with when she was talking to the presenter and the news. I think they said it was Sky News.
Mm-hmm.
Channel 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like how she was kind of playing down the scenario, you know. But yeah, you're right. She highlights a lot of stuff. But you must remember though that the police and the politician them is of one thing in it. Do you hear when she said that she works with the police?
Yeah,
Not
man.
just who works for the police. The police work for the politicians. The police is the front lines of the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
So the politician is trying to do is hide behind the racism that the police are carrying out
Mm-hmm.
to say that it's not actually happening. You know what I mean? It's just criminals just reacting that way, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just to say like we use the term good police and bad police. Well, there's no good police and there's no bad police because a police is a police. A police are swear to serve and protect the system, the satanic system. The police never swear to protect you, but you the one that said that, like us then, is the one that carry out this and say, oh, the police is there to protect us. But the police never once come and tell you, hey, I'm here to protect you. Never. So why do we keep on saying that?
I think people are going by the oath of office of the police. The oath of office. They all have to take a certain oath before they can hold office.
Just to protect the law. If you notice that, ask them to give you a copy of what their votes are there. Because as I said, it's just we going by what we want to be thinking. Their job and their votes, whatever you call it then, it's the law they say. They always tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've had enough running with police, so I must have known this. This is not something I'm trying to pull up at somewhere to tell you this. You know what I mean? This is experience. This is what they will tell you. They'll tell you the law. They'll never say, oh, we're here to protect you. Sometimes they will say that they're protecting the public when they're getting involved with you to do with the public. They will say that. Don't get me wrong.
Well, according to the police constable federation, the oath of office, it goes something like, I do solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will well and truly serve the Queen in the office of constable with fairness, integrity, diligence, and impartiality, upholding fundamental human rights and according equal respect to all people, and that I will, to the best of my power, cause peace to be kept. In short.
Yes, but where do they go wrong now as to classing you as not the same people that they're talking about? Because to me, if you're not recognizing this, then some people probably not living. They don't recognize you within whatever votes they take. Can you not see that?
No, and this is why it's not. They might not recognize us, right? In that sense, is what you're saying. But all that means is that they're breaching or breaking their oath. So they're in breach of that position that they hold. So that of that
You would say that, you would say that, but would that not say that? No. Well, apart from what she was saying at the news at the time.
But that's what that's the implication of that's the implication of what was being said. She might have never come out and said it, but remember, she's not going to come out and give us the tools to bring down the police or a police officer. That would be all right.
The police is a part of the system. As long as the system is there, you can't bring down the police.
You do. If a police officer is acting outside their oath, you know, there's and they're in breach of office, there are things that you can definitely do. You know what I mean? But it's not about trying to bring down the force if the force is upholding the policies and procedures that are honorable, you know, and equitable, as Dawn said, you know. And this is that term that she used, that equitability, you know, those terms carry a lot of weighting. And so all I'm saying is that she wouldn't be coming out and then giving you the tools to actually go at the police at the jugular, you know. So it would be dishonorable from her in some senses, you know. She'd be going above and beyond to do something like that. But what she's done eloquently enough is point out the discrepancies, and it's not about whether it's a game or ploy or not. It's pointing out discrepancies and saying this is what's taking place. How we remedy those discrepancies now is on our shoulders, Now that we know that there's a recognition that there's this discrepancy there, and we have to in during my time, all the youth groups, the black youth groups during my time when I was a teenager, they used to print these little cards, and they used to give it out to all the teenagers saying, if the police stop you, know your rights. And I remember reading those things and I said, these are the questions that a police officer, when a police officer asks you, you have to answer. Any other question you don't have to answer. And
When they ask you what?
say again.
When you say when the police ask you what, you have to answer.
I said it would like the card would explain the questions that you have to answer and the questions you don't have to answer. So it outlined what you need to do and how you can carry yourself during an interaction with the police. These things, I feel that a lot of these things with the youngsters these days, a lot of the youngsters have been left to fend for themselves. As a teenager, I can remember when there used to be community orientated trips and community orientated programs all over the local authority, whether it's through individuals or through the local authority themselves. That there was a lot of community-based programs. A lot of that have just disappeared through funding or for whatever reasons, or the private individuals they've gone up in age or some of them have passed on, and we've lost that cohesiveness. And one of the things that we have to do as a responsible group, and we need to be responsible, is actually to create community cohesion amongst our youngsters. And the lack of and thereof will then create the animosities that create the rivalries that create the excuse for the police officers to come in. And so we have a lot to do ourselves. I personally don't call police for nothing apart from insurance purposes.
One is let me ask the one first.
Mm.
One is who pay the police? Don't answer yet. Who pay the police? And the other one is I know you sometimes like Crusader Dick or whatever you call it, Crusader Dick is the head of them. But they must have somebody that's over them, like the mayor of London or something like that. So I mean, would you agree that the system is a one-sided, satanic kind of system that doesn't serve certain people and doesn't serve the majority in the system, you would say? Would you say that?
I will say this much. People say the system is a satanic system and all. But when you read into, I would say any kind of satanistic behavior takes place behind closed doors. That I will agree that there's some nefarious stuff do take place a lot. So I'm not going to take away from that. But when you look into the system and you understand the system protects us in every way when we apply our correct, right, and true rights, and we use those truly correct, equitable terms. The problem comes in because we don't. The problem comes in because we don't understand the differences in terms of how we use certain procedures and what is legal and lawful and all these things. When you hear people start saying all those stuff, all we do. The problem is that when, let's say, for instance, I should come on the radio and I start talking about those things, all that's going to happen is abuse. People are going to take that information and abuse it. People are not going to see it's if you're not worthy of the information, you can't just get the information in a weird way, because some people just take information and run with it in such a negative way. There used to be a show called Breaking the Spell. Don't know if you know it. It used to be on a Sunday. I think it's still on in some capacities, but Breaking the Spell show, I remember going back over 10 years ago, and with Breaking the Spell show, a lot of the information that was put out on Breaking the Spell show, I myself have witnessed people attempting to use that information to beat me up with that information. And I'm like, this information was to be about a betterment of self, not a versus battle and who knows more and all these things. So people take information and they use it in all kind of ways. And so you grow to realize that, and this is how, and I say it in a weird way, but this is how Freemasonry kind of works, where things are people. This is how it should work in a way. People that climb up that ladder are meant to be people that show that true altruistic motion, that they gotten rid of all of the flaws from their life, and they now a perfect building block within God's house in that sense. And that's the basic premise of Freemasonry at the entry level. What happens up top and so forth might be a different story. But what I'm saying is, it's like not everyone deserves to get everything that is put out there. You have to put yourself in that position of being deserving, and when you do, you will tend to get that information. And it takes diligence, and it takes time to lift yourself out of the muck and the quagmire. And we have to inspire each other to lift ourselves out and work with each other, and not
Makes sense too.
and not feel like we're better than people because they choose not to, but we interact and engage with people with love and compassion in everything that we do. Not that we're going to be forgive. I'm one of the most ferocious people you'll ever meet if you cross me the wrong way. But it doesn't mean that I came to you with ferocity. I came to you with love. But if I meet hatred or antagonistic behavior, you can guarantee you will get it back. Because
So
I'm
who is the head of the police now? I know it's not considered a thing. So don't say considered a thing. There's somebody that is the police and it's not considered a thing.
No, remember, the police, the Metropolitan Police wins a tender, right? They're a company, they're a corporation, right? They win a tender
They're
to,
the
to
company.
they're a corporation, so they win a tender in it. So if you set up a corporation and you can put in a better tender to do the same job they're doing, you could take over. You get what I'm saying? So it's a
Okay,
corp,
okay, I didn't know that part. Okay, so they're a company. Okay,
they're a corporation.
I thought they was quite a long time
No,
ago.
all these police forces are their own individual corporations. But I'm not here to really talk about the corporation of the police force.
Well, I just need to know, like,
Yeah.
what step do you take when you get in a situation like Don? I mean, Don would know. But
No,
I
the
mean, there's a
reason
lot of people that
the,
don't know. That's why they can't.
this is why I say Dawn has more to lose than to gain, because the little she's given up, she could have given a lot more. Don't get it twisted, and she could have done a lot more. But the little she gave is to highlight that it's not a one-sided thing, that the police are completely clean hands in this, and that's the beauty of it in its simplicity. And it shows that the gripe that we have in isn't always on us, because how many times that we see black people just going in rage, and people go, black boy and can't behave themselves, or whatever the case
That's
may
what I'm
be.
saying. But this is the reason why, because there's nothing else to do with it.
And that's why I give credit where credit is due. When do we give them credit? When they do something, they don't do nothing, we cost them. They back the wrong side, we cost them. And when do we give them credit? When do we make them feel confident that if they back the right side, and back in terms of, when I say the right side, I mean truth and integrity, yeah, and also you have to be a bit understanding to your own, because you are our mouthpiece, so you're supposed to be our representative within that truth and integrity, not society, us, in that truth and integrity, in as a part of society. You get what I'm saying? So when
Yeah.
when we're being trampled on, don't tell me you're the MP for Tottenham, so you have to think about all residents of Tottenham. No, you're
Yeah,
the,
that's rubbish.
that's
Yes, you're
foolishness.
right.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm not
Yes,
telling you not to ignore other people. I'm just saying you have a responsibility, first and foremost, to bring understanding of where we're coming from based on where you're coming from. And in that understanding, people can then look and say, listen, from my background and my thinking and my integrity, da 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 da. So people grow with respect towards us. We are the people that can resolve any conflict on this planet. Why? Think about it. Any conflict, Kofi Annan, he literally stopped the first Gulf War, and until Daddy Bush and Thatcher went around him. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So what's his name? Dennis Rodman. He was the only man that could go to North Korea and talk to Kim Jong Un.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman.
You get we are great people, and our skills and abilities goes a long way. So that's all I'm saying. So the little she showed, when do we support them? We have to support them one time or another, or unless we're going to tear them all down. So when
That's what I'm saying is we should support, there's a time when we're gonna come together and it's something gonna make that happen. So at the moment, when things start to happen to these people that are supposed to be representing us and is not doing that good job of it, we need to embrace them. We don't need to start to get like what you would say revengeful towards them. You know, like the police woman that was fired. Yeah, remember that when Uncle I was talking about.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We should support these kind of things too. Okay, yeah, she never look at what our plight was, but she gets involved in this now. So come on, what now? This is how it goes. You look at what when somebody gets in that situation, they split side. You see why? Is that we are why, you know, we are why, Jordan. Listen, I'm looking at it like now, we are not just supporting them.
I got a text message here, right? And I don't know what me I put myself in the middle of, but me I go ask the question. Were you on Lady M show yesterday?
Yes, I was, yes.
The question is,
I get crossed out because I was kind of saying.
tell me.
The reason why I said the Africans are retarded.
All right, I see him in the text message. So tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, but listen now, because now if you build a house, yeah,
Mhm.
and you're gonna build a house that everybody can just walk in and take all this stuff and do what they like.
Mhm.
What do you call that? And this is what Africa is. Everybody can walk in and do what they like in Africa. So how do you expect anybody gonna respect us when they can just walk into a big continent and just the people up there walk all over them and all of their house?
Okay. I hear that. You know something though? Them say words powerful. I understand what you mean. And when what you know what I would say to in agreement with that, I wouldn't say Africa is retarded. I would say Africa has been kept intellectually down, where they put certain puppet governments in place so that they can take advantage of the people. So even the ones that are intellectually superior, they're not able to do anything because they're in lesser numbers or they're not in a position of authority. And the ones that do get into a position of authority, they get fought out along the way, even by their own people a lot of the times. Oh, are you still there?
Of course, I'm still there.
Oh.
You know, I'm just trying to say, though, you know, okay, we keep saying that, but don't they have a responsibility like this?
Very much so. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not.
We're supposed to be rescuing them. How come we're not bad situation with them? How are we going to rescue them?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just being politically correct.
No, I understand, and I get that. That's why I'm quiet. I get that. You know, I mean, it's just I said it in a angry scenario, and I said I was angry.
Mm-hmm.
I was angry because I just find what happened to Dawn. I was a bit distraught of that. Why was I distraught of the police? Because, as I said, something is going to happen to put us together. But I was distraught in the way that she was talking to the presenter because, for me, she was kind of watering it down. So it seemed to me like she's not getting what's really happening.
I didn't.
People like us.
I didn't see the Sky News report. I saw the video of the interaction with the police. I didn't see the news report. I just saw the video of the interaction with the police. And I was commenting on the video in its purity in that sense. Now on the news report, if she's trying to water anything down, maybe it's because her advisors have given her a little tap on the shoulder and say, listen, make sure it doesn't become like a Black Lives Matter thing against the police.
But anyway, it's supposed to be. You're supposed to represent your people.
But remember, they're not me. You understand? No matter if anyone knows me and knows how I have been in the boardroom or in a corporate office, everyone knows that how I am on this radio ain't literally far from how I am in any context. I got one face. People know that I come with a certain level of difficulty, and I come with a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just blatant. If someone says something that's not quite appropriate, it's going to be addressed there and then. You know, if I don't want to do something, like there's certain things that they would want us to do in like certain training programs when I used to be in the Babylon system working with them, and I just didn't want to do it. And people used to always say, "Why am I being difficult?" Because I said, "I'm not here to expose me to you, so you learn about me, so you know how." That's not what this is about. You know what I'm saying? The training is about you exposing yourself to me, so I know how to better fit in. Then, if so be the case, not the other way around. So I've always been not well liked in a lot of settings, and in some settings I was very well loved. So, but not everyone can be like that because of how I am, how I've been. I had a difficult time in a lot of settings, and not everyone wants that. Not everyone wants to spend all the day of their lives fighting.
But do you realize that there's a lot of African when that goes to your Caribbean too? But okay, I'm talking about what I experience. Now what you just said, now you have it, but you are the general one.
Mm.
Yeah. That there's a lot of Africans working in Caribbean, but I was in the Caribbean. That are working with the police, but they're not frontline. They're working behind the scenes with the police. So why can't these people stand up and say to the police, so how come you just attacking us all the time? I mean, how is that possible?
Well, I've had that conversation with officers, but the thing is, the officers that will give you the time of day of having that discussion aren't the officers that the problems with. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like you having a conversation with someone and they're giving you the time of day and giving you a responsible answer. Yeah, unless you've cornered them in a place where they have to respond,
Yeah, I
right?
know what you're saying. That's
It's like you're speaking to the converted. You got plenty of good officers out there. I don't like interacting with the police in a negative or positive way. I just don't like the
But
police
you
full
shouldn't,
stop.
you
But
should just give them their respect.
yeah,
If they don't give you your respect, then you should deal with them.
I just the police is the police and me. I don't want to do nothing with them. You get me? I don't want to interact or engage with them, positive or negative. You get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like you have good officers out there, and I would be misleading if I said anything else. They are good officers, few and far in between. Some of them, you know what I mean. But there are good officers, and there's just some day for the paycheck. You get what I'm saying? The ones that their clothes don't look like it's fit right and all them. They just there for the paycheck. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're more pulling than the job, man.
Yeah. And then you got some officers that it's like when COVID lockdown was going in, and you had security guards at the supermarkets, yeah, and they thought they were on military drills because they had so much power. You have some officers that power got to them head and then gone mad with it.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? And sometimes,
I'm 200%
right, so you have to pull them down a notch or two and say, "Oh boy, man, I real." You get me? You might let them know, say, intellectually we are there, but if they don't want to deal with it intellectually, whatever way they want to deal with it, we're there, because we not really respond. You get me? And I don't want to promote anything kind of negative,
But
but
anyway, you're doing a good job.
it is what it
I'm
is.
you, I'm gonna give somebody else a chance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, respect of that.
Manners
That
and
was a good
respect.
little conversation. But I'm really getting a bit frustrated with our situation, because it's a long time I've been monitoring our situation.
That's
It's getting dire, man.
but
It's gonna get worse. I know that.
but remember, if you're unclever phrase that when I listen to his show, I hear him say, he calls it an armchair revolutionist, yeah. The armchair revolutionary position, right? You If you see something that needs to be done, don't advertise it. Just get up and take a little time and start doing it. Once you start it and you're pushing it and you take it as far as you can take it, and if there's worth in it, someone else will finish it for you.
Yeah, someone else to take up the battle.
Someone will take up the mantelpiece. You get what I'm saying? So when you see something needs to be done and you feel and you've got the vision of how it can be done, do it. And if this is why in a very open way, I respect OG a lot, because he's a man that he just gets up and he goes and do what he sees needs to be done, and that's what
Wow.
That's what we need out there. If everyone was like that, there would be so much projects happening. We don't all have to be on the same project. We can have inter-project corporations, but we can all get up and make a project happen. And it's the doing that's great, not just the thinking. You know what I'm saying? The thinking is good, but you need to be a doer. Get up and make the action.
All right then.
Yeah?
Continue. Be strong. Yeah.
Miles and respect, my brother. Always a love hearing from you. Right, text message reads, missed a few of these from earlier. The street as my son, I remember I highlighted that before the news. And oh, we got a caller. Caller, we're going to go straight live. You all right with that? Hi, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hi, Hade. Good to hear from you. Tell me something. What?
I'm kind of tuned into your show a bit late, so I didn't really catch a lot of the stuff that you were saying about the non-developed. But I think I got the gist of it, and I would like to make a comment to that. You see, first and foremost, when you were talking about this whole issue of good or bad police, you need to realize they're human beings like everybody else, and like with every other kind of industry, you get good and bad people. I'll give a good example. Remember a few months ago when there was this Black Lives Matter protest that was taking place alongside the EDF also protested. Remember that chap that was saved by the black guy that was in the blue gear or police and stuff? You know that guy was a policeman.
Okay, no, I didn't.
Yeah, that guy that was saved, not going to take the black guy, but the white guy, is a policeman. And apparently, his habits started sentiment for a very long time. That makes you think how many more officers have that kind of sentiment with, or affiliation to far right philosophy or groups. So, in the thing, trying to address that, you first of all want to address that mentality in society. Because it is from society that they go and get jobs as policemen or, whatever other occupation you want to get a job in. And then you mentioned something about some people who set a paycheck. And so for those, they don't care about anything that goes on outside of, whatever doesn't affect their paycheck. So even the background staff who are working for the police or non-essential, frontline staff, except some of them will just get a paycheck. Some of them they feel they don't have the authority to be able to speak on behalf of the police, or feel that for any power within the police force to do anything, about, what is happening. And they all are aware because, they're not deaf, they're not blind. They can see, they can hear everything that's going on. But that's the one aspect. The second aspect is this. When it comes to this whole systemic thing, it's not just about the enforcement. Even when cases have been identified and blatantly discrimination has been identified in it, even look at the way the compensation is given out. When you compare it to people from a black or ethnic minority background compared to other backgrounds, there's a huge disparity there. It's not the same. You understand?
Yeah.
So all these things that happen, so I feel for Don Douglas, and I think it's a shame that you have to take her, going through that for her to be able to stand up the way she has to try to say something about it.
Yeah, very much so.
I wish it was much more vocal because even the Bluegrass Street is still completed. Last time I looked at that, I think there's still delays with some people getting their compensation. These are the sort of things that you expect an MP to sort of fight for. And there's the issue with the women in the home. I don't expect that to be any statement about that.
And this is the thing. This is the very thing. None of the other black MPs have come out in support of Dawn as a united voice, which is shameful first and foremost. Which everyone should have come out and say, wait, what? Hold on, what go on? You got me? Even if it's just fodder, you come out in a united face, right? None of the the MPs have a united stance when it comes to individualized people on the ground. So some people can say it's only because it's happened to Dawn why Dawn's highlighting it. But it could have happened to Dawn and she said nothing and go on with it. You get what I'm saying? So for the fact that it's happened to Dawn and Dawn I realize Dawn come out and say, you know, this is not right. So we have to take the pinch of salt here and there from them, but I'm not saying that we're getting I'm not saying that we're letting them off the hook. I'm just saying we support what do they call it, positive reinforcement. You know what I'm saying? We reinforce positive behavior.
What you're saying, others would easily accuse of that as well. When they've had certain issues in their own constituencies that was black related and some people silent on it. The fact is that when they get elected, right, their priority is, or I think, is to be with the party that they're affiliated with and the policies of that party that's in form. There's not coming and saying, look, I want to, I want to be representing the black community, so therefore elect me. I'm coming as a Labour candidate, so therefore elect me. And this is the policies that the Labour Party has, which she tries to abide by. And that's the mistake I think they make in the sense that they prioritize that over
Yes.
who they are and the community that they're actually supposed to be serving.
Yes.
Rather than that any MP should actually be living in the constituency that they serve, because that's the only way. The only way you're going to let that know how many people's lives are being affected by certain policies.
Yeah, very much so. And the only way they can do that is by being an independent. And a vote for an independent is usually seen as a wasted vote because they don't really have much power based on how British democracy works. You know what I'm saying?
If you reach out to the community and if the community accepts you, okay, that's all the power that you need. Now you mentioned something about the fact that when you were younger, I remember this as well, there used to be a lot of activities that was available for young people.
Yeah.
Part of the problem that we have with a lot of young people these days, as Lydia was saying yesterday, is the sense that there is no proper discord between the older generation and the younger generation. So a lot of them basically are having to make their way through life without the right type of guidance. So when you have all these facilities that were taken away because they were being expanded, this is where having our own representation at the local council level is vitally important because we can then make the protest or even block those moves to try and defend those organizations that are providing those vital services. Hey, because nobody has been able to represent us, everything happens and we wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
So what happened to that service that was closed down? What happened to that camp? It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
And then lastly, one more thing. Yes, I know you're listening. Yeah, I know we didn't have a bit of a disagreement yesterday. You are my brother, and I will strongly advise if possible. Because when you make that kind of statement, it literally touches the nerve of a lot of people, especially for us who are directly from there, live there, because we know what is actually going on over there. Try, if you have never been there before, I would strongly advise you go there, go to Africa, whichever country you want to go to, and then see how things actually work on the ground, because it's not as easy as that way, just for everybody's in a certain way. I'll give you a good example. Very well. When they had their civil war, the people that decided to come together, okay, and because obviously they've got a natural reserve diamond, they're one of the world's largest producers of diamonds. And they decided to come together, stop the fighting, right, and to try and build a country. The British government did not like who they wanted as their leader. They ended up handing them over to the man to the point he ran away, he left out to Liberia, and he was killed. So you have situations like that where certain things are being imposed on people, certain kind of leadership, certain kind of situation, and the person that was put in there, all of a sudden, So this is one of the things that happens a lot. It's not that the people themselves are stupid or don't know what is going on, but when you're having a barrel of a gun, then that every time you try and protest or you try and change the government, you either must be able to come with your own barrel of guns, or you have to try and find another way. Sometimes that other way takes a long time. But there are changes. There's a lot of changes that's going on in Africa. There's a lot of good development that's going on in Africa.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man. All right, give thanks. I'm glad that was resolved. No, yeah.
What brings you join, spend some time there so you can see, how things are. Literally.
No worries. No worries. Give thanks, brother. All right. Thanks. Yes. Let's jump on some text messages because we're running short of time. If you want to take part, you have to give me a quick call. We only got about 6 minutes left. 0753-996-8143. I give it again, 0753-996-8143. That's the text and call line. 0753-996-8143. So I was reading a text message in regards to the streets having, it says the streets have my son, and he's on the autistic spectrum. Youth man themselves on social. So I think say social media, so elder guidance rendered mute. So because the youths are on social media, a lot of the stuff that we're trying to push out there on the formats that we're trying to push it out on, they're rendered mute, but not necessarily. They might not be hearing it firsthand, but the more we push it out there, the more we saturate all the various formats of our medias with it, the more some will filter through. If there's nothing going out there, then there's nothing for them to hear, full stop. And that's the problem. They say no rest for the good, right? Rest for the wicked. And that's because most information that's out there is it's relentless, the negative information. We, the good, if we want to put ourselves as righteous versus unrighteous. I don't know if I'm good or bad, I'm just me. And I love me. So we have to look at it in the sense that we have to push out the narrative of what we want relentlessly as well. And it's simple as that. It's like, for instance, if you got a child and you want the child to be more pro-black and more appreciative of their image, you'd want them to watch black cartoons and all these stuff. But there's very little production of those stuff. I would love to know that there was someone out there producing black cartoons and black programs that's placed onto the YouTube and the social media channels that kids can tap into and watch. Even if it's just creating an image of beauty, that image that they can look at, that you're not always seeing some princess fairy tale and some white little youth, not some tights named Prince Charming. They look fruity, them tights and them thing there. Something pro our image. You get me? I don't business about the fruity image. I'm not disrespecting it. I'm just saying when you look at us, you don't see that imagery. So our imagery then becomes ugly to the child. You get me? And me now wearing no tights. If nobody call me Prince Charming. Rather than call it Prince Ugly than if I somebody cares. What I'm saying? I'm just saying we have to kind of push everything in every aspect of every area that we want. You get what I'm saying? Just like how everyone else is doing it. And we ain't stopping no one else from pushing their image and whatever. Whatever image you want to push it. That's up to you. You get me? But the image that you want to push and funnel to your child, we should have a variety of everything, and then we can pick from the variety what is best suitable for you towards your child, and not just always going to be white image, white media, white this, white that, white is good, white is this, white is fair, and all that stuff. I ain't got no time for that foolishness. Text message reads, she don't support anybody. She did not support Superintendent Robin Williams. Then why should we support her? That's a good text message, and it's easily answered. We are always compared to a people of crabs in a barrel. If everybody fight to get out of the barrel like them crabs, they never get out. The crabs are right at the top, but as one reaches to the edge and he's about to drop over something, just climb and drive back in. So we get. Because they all climb to get out. What we need to do, we need to use our powers to educate those that are in positions of authority for us. And our powers are, whenever they do something that is noteworthy, we give them that recognition. Whenever they don't do something that you would have expected them to have done and have that voice of the community, We scold them, and if they don't recognize the difference during the window of transition that they have, we vote them out and put somebody else in there. You know what I'm saying? That and give them the same credence again. We pull them up on these things, but we give them the opportunity to change. You get what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. So they never supported the superintendent. That's right. And likewise, the other MPs ain't supporting her. And none of them never support that. We all have to start changing these things. No more. We take no more foolishness from them or from anyone else. No more. Okay? We're out of time this week. And again, it's going to be another week before we come back and catch you guys on the earwaves, you know. And it's about staying positive. Hold a good thought about yourself. Hold your heads high. Teach your kids, teach everyone around you to hold their heads high. Because it's a beautiful day. You know what I mean? And as long as you always have that viewpoint, it will always be that. You know, you manifest what you want to manifest. They can't hold you down. All right? So until next week, it's the doctor's surgery. Take care and give care. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right? All right. See you guys soon.
Meet your rate. 104.1.